Alrighty, this is Alex from My For Attraction 2.0. And today we're going to be talking about 4 reasons why men play hard to get. All right. And this is getting one of those videos that, that hurts you in the heart, that makes you get angry at me. And that makes you, like, yo, this guy's an asshole. I can't believe he says this. But this is a video that's going to help you guys know when a guy's playing hard to get or when he's just bullshitting around by understanding why that happens. And mind you, I'm going about it from my own experience through being a guy. And this is the thing though, is that with girls that I like, I do play hard to get, but I don't play that much too hard to get. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys why guys do that and how and what are the signs you gotta look for. Okay, so let me put it on right now. I'm opening the chat. That's why it looks like I'm doing 2 things at once. Okay, so here it is. All right, so let's get started. So the first reason is they are unsure about you. That's one of the first reasons. When I think about playing hard to get, I think the mic is loud as hell. I think so. Yes, it's loud as fuck. 1 second. There you go. Okay. So when I think about playing hard to get, the first thing that comes to mind is them rejecting your advances, like going out with you, or them flaking on you, which is when they say they're gonna go out with you, but they don't. I hate that fucking part. I hate people who do that. But the main reason is because they are unsure about you. Mind you, for example, it just means that they have mixed emotions. That's kind of like the form of procrastination. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have an essay done, right? You have an essay to do. And let's say that the essay represents a guy. If you really want to complete the essay, if you just want to do that and you always just think is of pleasure whenever you think of finishing the essay, you're not going to procrastinate. But whenever you think of some stress, like when you have mixed emotions, like, man, I need to get this done, but I don't want to get it done. When you have those mixed emotions makes you reconsider. One moment you want to get it done and the next moment you don't. So when guys play hard to get, it means that they're not sure about you. They don't know how they feel about you. Now, I always say that if a guy's unsure about you, he's unsure about you in general. Like, because there is no doubt that when a guy likes a girl, he knows. Like it takes a lot for you to fuck up and when you're a woman and a guy's interested in you, you see? So when he's unsure about you, it just means that he may not. Okay, I'll say it. Look, he may not be as physically attracted to you. That's from my experience. Initially, I'm talking about initially, like in the beginning. That's what happened when they just don't know. For example, it's kind of like if you're on the internet, you guys are trying to hang out and you guys are on OkCupid, and you don't have a lot of photos about yourself. He's gonna hesitate if you don't send him photos. You see, so he wants to know exactly how you look. So guys play hard to get when they're unsure about you, when they don't know what they're gonna do about the relationship. Do you want to continue going out with her, or does he want to dump you? Like he's just thinking about that. So that's what tends to happen if he wants to continue the conversation going. Okay, so I got asked a question. I'm doing a live stream for those who look at it in the future. They asked, how do you change those mixed emotions? I'm gonna write that down. Changing his emotions. Okay. All right. So the second one is they have other options. Yeah, that's what tends to happen. When a guy has other options, he has the liberty to slack off a little bit. That doesn't mean that he doesn't like you. He might be attracted to you, but that he just has other options. He can wait. So he's playing hard to get, and you text him to hang out. He may take a long time, or maybe even days, to text you back, because he just has other options. He has other things to do. Now, other options in this case is pretty much women. Okay, he has other women in his life. You may be the side girl. Who knows? Right? So that's what may be happening. And a guy will not tell you that, but when you notice that he's kind of like hesitant, like he'll say he wants to hang out with you, but then when it's the day to hang out, he doesn't hang out with you. Maybe he just found another girl, or another girl asks him to hang out. That tends to happen. And come on, you women do that too. Don't act like you don't. Okay, don't act like you have. There's always that guy in the back burner. Sometimes you're in the back burner. I've been in the back burner before. I know. Look, I know my role. Okay, I know when a girl has other guys. I understand when a girl has me as her last options. I don't mind. I'll be your last option, sure. Fuck it, right? I really don't mind being her last option, to be quite honest with you. Like, she's like, oh, goddamn, I got to hit up Alex. I'm like, okay, hit me up. I'm here right now. I really don't mind, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's relevant to me. But yeah, people have different options. So that's what tends to happen. All right. So the third one is fear of women. That's one that's kind of like, I find that a little hard to believe, but it's actually true. Some guys have genuine fear of women. They're afraid. And so when the moment comes to meet up with the guy, with the girl, they choke up. They pull a LeBron and back off, right? You women do that more often. This happens to women more often, where when it's time to go out with the guy, you guys always happen to get extra busy on that day. Or you guys always happen to get fucking sick, or grandma's dying again after the fifth time you told me. I'm like, when is grandma gonna go already? Like, grandma just cannot be inconveniencing me this often. All right, me and her gonna have to have a little powwow, me and your grandma. But sorry about that. But generally speaking, though, so when that just happened, is that sometimes guys are afraid of women. You see, and I don't know what you were doing that occasion. Maybe just Skype with her and whatnot. Ask him to Skype. I don't know. But generally speaking, though, when a guy is afraid of women, he'll make excuses. And the thing is, you cannot really find out, because it'll be hidden under layers of excuses. Excuses that look valid, excuses that look real. You know, unless grandma keeps dying, grandma can't die 5 times. You know, grandma ain't Jesus. That's what usually happens. All right. All right. What if, I'm reading a question. What if they get lazy when they feel like they finally have you? Like after you played hard to get him hooked and you got him, and then they get lazy. Okay. I made a couple videos based on that. By the way, ladies, I'm gonna try to remember now. I'm gonna post right now. I'm posting the link to my podcast. Okay. I'm posting the link to my podcast right now so you guys can see, because I have a podcast. And there you go. The link is on the description below. So go check out the podcast. There's only 11 followers. 11 followers, man. So this is what I want you guys to do, right? Before I keep going with this video, move that little mouse over. Go to the little description box. There you go. Yeah. Hit the description box, and then click on that link that says download my podcast. Then now, once you click on the podcast, you're gonna follow it or create a new account. But the point is that you gotta follow the podcast. You gotta follow it, right? Or and even comment on the video, on the podcast, just so I know that you guys saw that. Okay, and because I'm gonna be doing live streams through there. So if you're following the podcast, you're gonna be able to get the alert when the live stream is coming through the podcast, not through here. So if you guys want to see my podcast live, maybe you guys could phone in questions. I don't know. So you guys, I may suggest that you guys, follow the podcast. Okay. Anyways, so what happens when a guy gets when he gets you and then he gets comfortable? Okay, this is what tends to happen is that you always have to be giving guys space. You always want to be moving forward and then taking a step back. Moving forward and then taking a step back. You see, so if you're showing interest, if he feels like he has you, what do you do now? You take a step back. The next time he calls you, don't call him. Don't return a phone call. We hate people that don't return phone calls. That makes us kind of afraid. You see, so you gotta once in a while let him know that you're there. Let him know that you could be other guys. A perfect video for this is how to make him weak. You can watch that video. It's called How to Make Him Weak, How to Make a Man Weak and Miss You, something like that. And I talk about that because you always, when you get the guys at the end game, it's kind of like video games, right? You have video games and people like the video game, but then you got to keep upgrading it every year. So once you get the video game, the next video game is going to be with more graphics. The next video game is going to have new features. So just because the video game is good foundationally, you always got to keep improving it next year and the next year and the next year. It's the same thing. The way you improve the relationship is not through actually improving the relationship. It's through giving him the contrast of what would happen if he loses you. So you always want to keep taking a step back so that he keeps realizing, holy shit, like she's actually a good person. It's kind of like living. You will never appreciate living until you almost dying. You will never appreciate breathing until you cannot breathe because you have stuffy nose. So people won't appreciate you once they feel like they lost you. So you got to learn how to incrementally and subtly implement space so that he feels that he loses you. Maybe not completely, but partially, so that he could have a sliver of doubt that says, what's going on? Is that a new guy? But you have to have the reputation of a faithful woman. That's the thing. So that when you do those things, it's not deemed as though you're cheating. So because of confirmation bias, you got to have the clean reputation of that. And if you have a bad reputation, then this is not for you. Then you have to prove yourself. And that takes time and consistency. All right. All right, back to this. The fourth one, and this is the unlikely one. He's teasing you. This is the unlikely one, but it is possible. The reason why I say it's because most guys, women are better teasers. Okay, women, they know that there is a certain pleasure you derive through teasing people. You know, but most guys, they're not patient enough. I'm not patient enough. I'm not patient enough to tease a girl. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't got patience, right? Actually, I do have patience. My bad. I used to not have patience, but now I have a lot more patience. I'm more calm. But generally speaking, though, most guys don't do that because they just don't know how to do it. Most guys just don't have the skill set. Not because I'm better than them or they're worse than me, but because this is an actual skill set. I actually fucking study it. So most guys are not intentionally teaching you because they can't. So if that's the case, then they're doing it accidentally. They just happen to maybe have another girl, seeing other women. And so what may seem as though teasing you, to him, he's just being inconsistent because he has another girl. Like, so sometimes they're not playing a lot of the times. They're just reacting. You think they're playing the game, but in reality, they don't know how to play the game. They just happen to be in the situation that causes that kind of behavior. It's kind of like when I tell women, kind of like women telling me, when I'm with a guy I like, I act attractively. But when I'm not around a guy that I like, no, when I'm around a guy that I don't like, I act attractively. When I'm around a guy that I do like, I don't act attractive. So it's not that you don't know how to act attractive, but the situation, and better yet, your perception changes. So your perception allows you to access certain behaviors. Change your perception, suddenly you'll be able to act in a way that you never thought you imagined. That's how I teach my one-on-one clients. I use a lot of different tactics to help them change their behavior in an effortless way without using a lot of conscious effort. Because I was reading on this, it's called this book called The Social, why human beings are social creatures. And it said that there's a social brain, and then there's the analytical brain. The analytical brain, when it's turned on, right, the social brain turns off. So you're not aware of social cues. You're not aware of the environment because you're inside your head. That's why when people are inside their heads, they have this thing called conversational narcissism, where they believe that what they have to say is more important. So as a result, they're willing to look through other people's signs of shut the fuck up. I want to say my point too, motherfucker. I want to talk, because they want to say their thoughts. The problem though is that because of that, it jades them. It makes them less socially affable. They're not socially aware. But once the analytical mind is shut down, the social brain controls it. You see, and what tends to happen is that you get into this flow state, this flow state when you're in a conversation with someone. But the only way for you to do that is through shutting the mind down. That's why when you're around friends and you're having an extremely good conversation, it's like a free flow. You don't need to think about what to say next. But when we're around people that we like, we are trying to get them to like us. So we shut down our social brain, which is what we need to get to be more social, more likable. And we turn on the analytical brain, which will make us more nervous. So what you have to do then is find a way how to do it. So how do you do it? Oh my God, such a revelation. Notice your breath. All right, notice your breath. Notice the breath. What's going to happen then is that you're removing the attention from your mind, from your thoughts, to the breath. So now the only thing you could do is just feel the breath. You're hearing him, and you're breathing, but you're not thinking because you're not putting your attention to your thoughts. So what's going to happen is this. For example, I'm going to do it right now. I'm noticing my breath, right? And as I talk, when I notice my breath, right, you notice that there's a natural calming down when you notice your breath, because it forces me to slow down. Because when I try to get ahead of myself, when I try to get it and think about what I'm going to say next, like right now, it forces me to get into my head. But because I'm noticing the breath, it forces me to slow down. Everything slows down when you notice the breath. You see, you're more calm, you're more relaxed, you're more serene, and you emanate a very relaxed aura. And so by simply doing that, it shuts down the analytical brain and allows you to actually be social. You see? And that's what happens. Now, can you guys tell the difference? I mean, that the other second I wasn't noticing my breath. Now I am. And it's more relaxed. Like there's like a little shift that happens. And a lot of the times, the reason why people fuck up in a relationship is because they're fucking fidgety and they're walking on eggshells. They're in their heads. So when you notice a breath, suddenly, if you were walking on eggshells, you're aware of it. You're noticing, right? And so it forces you to slow down, and the aura that you emanate is attractive. Those who are interested in one-on-one coaching, you can go to mindfulattraction.org. And you guys could go to mindfulattraction.org. You guys are going to see different links. You guys are going to see the coaching program, the monthly program, and you guys will be able to contact me there. mindforattraction.org/coach in the pocket is my no, yeah, slash coach in the pocket is my monthly program. It's actually kind of fun. It's very fun, very effective. So yeah, that's one of the things. And back to the video. So yeah, guys don't play hard. Guys play hard to get intentionally. Unfortunately, we're not that smart. Also, you too. Okay. Okay. Guys are not the only dumb ones. We're a dumb species. Trust me. We're so dumb that we're going to self-destruct one day. I mean, that's how stupid we are. Like that we're going to self-destruct each other. Like humans are on the path of inevitable destruction. Essentially, that's what you know what's like we don't what's the sad thing is that like damn, like this is like the best time to be living in right now. If we would have been born 50 or 100 years later, we're fucked. If we would have been born 100 years before, we're still fucked because the times in the past used to be horrible. This is like the best time in humanity. It doesn't compare. Any point in history, my God, am I lucky to be living at this time? Jesus Christ, it would have been horrible to be living like in the 1800s. A guy like me, get the fuck out of here. I would have been screwed, man. Shit, man. that's a crazy part. So all right, so another thing. When a guy's playing hard to get, how do you deal with guys playing hard to get? How do you stop the whole game? You become harder to get. All right. You become harder to get. Why? Because if he's actually playing hard to get you, it means he's what I call reverse supplicating, which is playing hard to get just to get you to chase. In reality, he's really chasing. He's just masquerading the chase under a smoke screen of him playing hard to get. So what you got to do is this: blow the whole shit up and literally stop responding to his text messages and stop responding to his attention. Don't pay as much attention to him. What's gonna happen then? He's gonna show his real colors. If he's actually attracted to you, it's inevitable that if someone's attracted to you and you're playing hard to get, and you notice you're fucking up, you know what happens? You put down your guards. You say it's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. I'm just playing around, like like I'm just kidding. Like he's gonna do that not by saying it's just a prank, but by showing you more attention, by texting you, by saying, hey, what's up? What are you up to? Hey, what are you up to tomorrow? You want to go to dinner, right? But if he's actually not attracted to you, you know what's going to happen? When you stop responding to his text messages, when you stop giving him the validation, he's going to move on. And now, if you just want to fling and you just want to have good old-fashioned all-American sex, right? Then go ahead, play with him. Don't do that because then you're going to lose him. But if you want him, then do that because you don't want to force the issue when a guy doesn't like you. And sometimes that little chase to find out if he's playing hard to get in a way that minimizes risk causes more harm than good. The cure becomes worse than the disease. The pure chase of it, the him fucking with you, like, and you're saying, "What the fuck are you doing? Do you like me or not? What the fuck is going on?" Right? But when you do that and stop responding to his text messages, or even tell him delete my number, or even tell him we don't have to hang out through text messages, it forces him to show his true cards, and that's how you do it. Right. These are situations that you're not always going to win out. Right. But you are going to win out emotionally because you're going to save yourself the trouble of chasing a guy that was not going to like you anyways. It was just going to hurt you emotionally even more. Like sometimes we just want to force the issue. You know, it's kind of like knowing, it's kind of like, for example, I'm trying to think of an analogy. Now I'm not gonna use that one, but it's kind of like knowing that it may be too late to go to a party, but that you just been wanting to go to the party, but they're telling you it's too late, don't go to the party, but you still go just because you just want to satisfy that itch. You know, that's what this is, where you just, even though you know he doesn't like you still somehow you still want to do it just because you want to do it, just because you just need to know that he likes you. You just need to know that you can get him, and you're fine with it. But that's the issue, is that that's adding on to the pain. That's adding on to the same problem. The solution becomes, the cure becomes worse than the disease itself. So how do you, I got a question. How do you deal with a guy that always diverts your conversation to suck my dick? You just got to stop. Don't respond to that. Just don't respond to that. I mean, first of all, how old is he? What the fuck? What? How old is he? I should not even read that. That's not even a real question. Get the fuck out of here. But when a guy sends you suck my dick, yeah, you know, just tell him, just don't even respond to that, man. But yeah, let me see. By the way, if anyone takes any notes on this video, let me know so that you could, so you know, let me know. Just give it to me, send it to me, right? I'll be happy, so happy. I'll say you did it. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, this girl, you know, did the video notes for me. Thank you so much. So yeah. Anyway, this is it for me. I'm gonna be posting new videos. I gotta go to the secondhand store. Hopefully, I can buy a new shirt. It's very hard for me to buy clothes. I don't understand. Like me, I have these pants, these shoes that have a hole in the front, and I just cannot stop wearing it. It's such a nice shoe. It has a hole. People are like, dude, like, aren't you like living? Aren't you living in New York City? Don't you make some money? I'm like, yeah, but like, I like these shoes. It's very hard for me to buy clothes. You know, like I barely buy clothes. I just get specific clothes, and it's a horrible habit. But like when I like something, I keep wearing it. Like I'll have like a little rotation of like three shirts or so, and I just keep wearing it until the next cycle. It's a horrible habit that I have. And my mother hates that. She's like, look at you, looking like a bum. What are people gonna think? I didn't raise a criminal. I'm like, oh mom, shit. It's just, you know, it's just, I know that's just how I dress. I don't like to dress too extravagant. I like to dress simple. But you know, she doesn't like it. I'm a criminal, apparently. I get a big laugh at it. But she's cool though. Anyways, this is Alex from Wi-Fi Attraction. I hope you guys have a good day. Okay, one question. It says, don't relationship and sex contradict the Buddhist philosophy that Eckhart Tolle bases his philosophy on? So, okay, this is actually a good question about the contradictions that I teach. I teach tactics to get the guy, right? But I also teach Buddhist philosophy, like chase the guy, but at the same time, make him chase you. They sound like contradictions, right? Of course, they sound like contradictions, but when you look into it, it's not a contradiction. For example, it's kind of like effortless effort in Wu Wei, where it looks like you're putting a lot of effort, but you're not. But the effort came prior to the activity. For example, like basketball players. The best basketball players are the ones that look like they're exerting the less effort. The worst basketball players are the ones that look like they're putting a lot of effort. When you're watching fight movies, like Bruce Lee movies, you notice that the one that's gonna lose is usually the one that's like, and the one that's gonna win is usually like, they have a presence of mind. So when I say when I teach but then I teach tactics to chase the guy, what I'm saying is that the way that this works is through passive aggressiveness or misdirections, where you show weakness, but in reality it's not weakness. This weakness is there just to get him to chase. For example, it's like saying, it's like saying, let's just say I'm walking down the street, right? You know, I'm walking down the street looking all sexy. I'm talking about myself, looking all cute and shit, right? Feeling myself. And then suddenly I have no desire for a girl. Then suddenly this girl comes up to me and says, hey, I think you're cute. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Finally somebody with some sense, right? And she says, here's my number. I want to talk to you some other time. I'm like, yeah, I got this girl, right? She gives me her number. She texts me. Then she says, oh my God, I cannot wait to see you. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see you, girl, right? And then suddenly she starts responding to me. Now, if she would have not done anything, I would have not chased her. I would have not cared. But now, because I almost had her, I thought I had her. I'm like, yeah, good. Then I'm like, what the fuck? She's not here no more. Now I miss her. Now I'm like, oh fuck, come on, man, hit me up, please hit me up, right? See, so what you're doing is you're showing interest, hey, but then once he has interest, because we like people who like us, you back off. Now, those are what I'm talking about. It's a contradiction, you see. So the way that my teachings of making the guy chase meets with Buddhist philosophy is what Jack Canfield calls high intention, low attachment, which is you have high intention to get the guy, but you're not attached to the outcome. It's what the Bhagavad Gita teaches. You're entitled to the labor, but not the fruits of your labor. Put in the work, but the outcome is not your responsibility. So this is taught with men because it's important. Because when you're talking to a girl, you don't want to be a little bitch and be like, hey, I just want to get your number. You know, like you don't want to do that because that's you're afraid. So you either, hey, sorry, I thought you were cute. What's your name? Like, boom, hey, what's up? Like, hey, looking like a hipster girl. What are you doing? Like, you just like boom, right? But even though you're being aggressive, hey, what's up? What are you up to? Like being aggressive, right? At the same time, if she says no, nothing, she's able to leave and nothing's lost. Nothing's lost. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to get a reaction. I was doing it because I had the desire. And if I didn't express myself, it would have not been fun. So I'm doing it just to express myself. You see, like I'm not doing something. I'm being myself. Being myself. I'm not doing pickup. I'm not doing things that are attractive. I'm being attractive. And so that all comes through internalizing these tactics to the point where you're not thinking, where you accidentally happen to do hot and cold. For example, you watch this channel, right? People tell me, Alexis, are you just trying to show vulnerability because you're applying these tactics? Because you guys notice sometimes I speak high, sometimes I speak low, sometimes I look like a psycho, sometimes I look like a smart guy, sometimes I dress like a bum, sometimes I don't dress like a bum. Like, it's a psych, it's random. And someone might say, oh, you know, you're doing that just because of the tactics. No, it's just natural. That's the point of all of this. The point of all this is just to make it a natural process where it's, you don't even think about it. You just do it. You know, sometimes you show vulnerability, but not because you're doing the vulnerability, but because you are open enough within yourself that you don't really differentiate between the vulnerable parts and the good parts. You just show it because you're not ashamed. So you're naturally just going to show your vulnerabilities, and you're naturally going to show your good sides. It's natural. So the way to get to that point is to developing the emotional circuitries in your heart, in your mind, in your whatever the hell the emotions are, so that it's natural. So rather than, for example, it's kind of like the guy texts you, right? And you're like, oh, I don't know what to say next. You develop the natural emotional circuitry. When the guy texts you, you don't feel need, but you feel excited. And now the text message doesn't come from a place of, what should I text him to? What am I going to text him now? You're just fucking around like, yeah, how can I mess with him? You see, so now you're expressing yourself. Now you're just doing it because, oh, no, let me see what happens. Let me see what happens, rather than, oh man, let me see what happens. I hope he likes this. Like you're taking it. The other one, you just give him. You see? And the only way for you to do this is not through conscious effort. Initially, conscious effort, right? Conscious effort is the first thing you got to do. But through observing your emotional reactions, removing the negative reactions, through becoming aware of whenever you get needy and observing it, bringing presence into it, is going to naturally remove it, right? And then changing your perception by seeing them almost as you see a child, making a conscious effort that every single time that you talk to a guy that you like, or every single time that you text a guy that you like, you ask yourself, what can I say to have fun? So that your text messages doesn't come from how can I impress them, but how can I have fun? And so what's going to happen is that your brain is going to naturally associate a fun emotion to talking to guys you like. And so what's going to happen is that naturally you're going to notice, holy shit, I feel good talking to guys that I like. And so because you're anchoring positive emotion of fun to guys. And so that's what I teach guys when they approach a woman, is that, okay, before you approach her, think of your dog that you love. Think of your dog that you love, and then think of the dog that they love. And think of the dog that they love. Then suddenly they feel the emotion of, I'm having fun, because that's what the emotion that they feel with the dog. Then suddenly when they approach the girl, they approach her with the emotion of fun. And so so what's going to happen is that after a while, they don't even need to do that, because the emotion is just going to rise up. They can see a girl, they feel fun, and they approach her. And now they're not doing it like, hey, can you like me? The more it's kind of like, hey, what's up? How you doing? You're having fun without looking for a reaction. Anyways, I didn't expect to go to that topic. This is a topic that I don't teach women at all, because I don't think is as relevant. One second. Because I don't think it's as relevant as opposed to the other things that I teach, because this is more for a cold approach. Like I have like so many fucking tactics. Like a good 70% of the things that I know I don't teach in this channel that much, because it's just not relevant. It's not relevant to women, right? But I feel like this one little tidbit is relevant. So that's what I would suggest. It's developing the emotional circuitry so that you don't need to use your thinking, but rather your emotions fuel the action. So just make sure to get the emotions that naturally produces the attractive behavior. And then the behavior will take care of itself, because the self, which is the emotion that you identify with, is always coming through. Anyways, that's it for today. This is Alex. I hope you guys have a good day. I think this was one of my favorite ones to today. All right, have a good day, and I may post another video up. Who knows? Bye bye.